A very good morning to all. Aldehydes and ketone या टॉपिकचं डिस्कशन आपण करतो आहोत. We have already studied aldol condensation, then Perkin reaction and Norman-Jet condensation in detail. या फर्स्ट 3 रिएक्शन्स आपण डिटेल मध्ये डिस्कस केलेल्या आहेत. आणखीन काही रिएक्शन्स आपण बघणार आहोत. यामध्ये कॅनिझरोज रिएक्शन, again a very important name reaction shown by this carbonyl compound actually, but there is one condition for the Cannizzaro reaction. This reaction is only shown by those aldehyde which do not having alpha hydrogen atom. Okay, what is the statement? Listen carefully. This reaction, Cannizzaro reaction, is shown by those aldehyde. It is not shown by ketone. It is only shown by aldehyde which do not having alpha hydrogen atom. Okay, now let us see example. Okay, this is acetaldehyde. Now in the acetaldehyde, CHO group is the functional group, right? It is the functional group. First carbon from the functional group is alpha carbon. Okay, this is alpha carbon, and hydrogen atoms present on the alpha carbon are called alpha hydrogen atom. Now, how many alpha hydrogen atoms are there in acetaldehyde? It having 3 alpha hydrogen atoms, and therefore this acetaldehyde do not show the Cannizzaro reaction because it having alpha hydrogen atom. Consider another example. Okay, HCHO. This is formaldehyde, first member of aldehyde. Now, what's about the formaldehyde? In formaldehyde, CHO group is the functional group. Now, first carbon from the CHO is called alpha carbon, but this compound do not having another carbon, and therefore it do not having alpha hydrogen atom. Thus, formaldehyde do not having any alpha hydrogen atom. Therefore, it shows Cannizzaro reaction. Consider another example. Okay, this is trialkyl acetaldehyde. Means suppose acetaldehyde madle 3 hydrogen, that 3 hydrogens are replaced by 3 alkyl group. It becomes trialkyl acetaldehyde. Okay, this is our functional group CHO. Then first carbon from the functional group is alpha carbon. Okay, this is alpha carbon. Now here also that alpha carbon do not having any hydrogen. Here also there is no any hydrogen, and hence that trialkyl acetaldehyde also undergoes Cannizzaro reaction. Consider one more example, benzaldehyde. In benzaldehyde, CHO group is our functional group. Okay, this is first carbon from the functional group. हा यामधला first carbon आहे, but this carbon also do not having any hydrogen, and thus in benzaldehyde also there is no any alpha hydrogen atom. Therefore, this molecule also shows Cannizzaro reaction. Okay, now what is the main condition for Cannizzaro reaction? That aldehyde which do not having alpha hydrogen atom undergoes Cannizzaro reaction. For example, formaldehyde, trialkyl acetaldehyde, benzaldehyde, this molecule shows Cannizzaro reaction because they do not having any alpha hydrogen atom. Okay, while here acetaldehyde, it do not shows this particular reaction. Okay, now let us see actual what is mean by that Cannizzaro reaction. Okay, I will take a simple example, same example of formaldehyde. Okay, this is our formaldehyde. Now when this formaldehyde is heated with alkali, suppose that aldehyde which do not having alpha hydrogen atom, when it is heated with alkali, suppose we will take dilute NaOH. Okay, we can take KOH also here. Now here 2 molecules of that aldehyde, 2 molecules of formaldehyde participate in the reaction. Okay, this is one molecule and this one is the second molecule of formaldehyde, HCHO, HCHO. Okay, now 2 molecules of formaldehyde participate in the reaction. Now, what happens here? 1 molecule of formaldehyde undergo reduction. 1 molecule of formaldehyde undergo reduction, while another molecule undergo oxidation. Means here, when that aldehyde is heated with dilute alkali, it undergo self-reduction and oxidation reaction. It undergo self-reduction and oxidation reaction, means one molecule reduced while another molecule is oxidized. Now, what is the general trend for the oxidation and reduction of aldehyde? That aldehyde on reduction, here addition of hydrogen takes place. या CHO group मध्ये addition होते. One hydrogen adds to carbon, second hydrogen adds to oxygen, and we get the RCH2OH, means we get the primary alcohol. This is the general trend. Okay, when any aldehyde on reduction gives primary alcohol, this is the general trend. Okay, now what's about the oxidation? That aldehyde on oxidation, त्याचं जर आपण ऑक्सिडेशन केलं, ऍडिशन ऑफ ऑक्सिजन टेक्स प्लेस. या CHO ग्रुप मध्ये एका ऑक्सिजनचे ऍडिशन होते, अँड वी नो दॅट aldehyde group on oxidation gives COOH. It converts into carboxylic acid. This is the general reaction. Okay, now let us say about our reaction. आता आपण आपल्या मूळ रिएक्शन कडे येऊया. ओके, आपण काय बघतो आहोत? When formaldehyde, that is aldehyde which do not having alpha hydrogen atom, when it is heated with dilute NaOH, when it is heated with dilute alkali, it undergoes self reduction and oxidation. म्हणजे काय होतं? यामधल्या एका मॉलिक्युलचे रिडक्शन होतं, मीन्स दॅट फॉर्मॅल्डिहाइड अंडरगो रिडक्शन. म्हणजे इथं काय होईल? तर एक हायड्रोजन कार्बनला आणि एक हायड्रोजन ऑक्सिजनला अटॅच होतो, अँड वी गेट द CH3OH. म्हणजे ऑलरेडी इथं दोन हायड्रोजन कार्बनवरती आहेत, आणखीन एक हायड्रोजन इथं अटॅच होईल. वी गेट CH3OH, वी गेट मिथॅनॉल. And thus formaldehyde on reduction gives corresponding alcohol. Now what's about the second formaldehyde molecule undergo oxidation? मग त्याचं ऑक्सिडेशन होतं म्हणजे काय? तर we should be get carboxylic acid, means we should be get formic acid. आपल्याला इथं HCOOH मिळायला हवा, म्हणजे CHO चं कन्वर्जन COOH मध्ये होतं. This is oxidation actually. Okay, and this compound is called formic acid. But that reaction is carried out in presence of alkali. त्यामुळे काय होतं? that carboxylic acid easily react with base. हा ऍसिड आहे आणि ऍसिड इझिली रिॲक्ट होतो NaOH किंवा KOH बरोबर, बेस बरोबर, अँड दॅट हायड्रोजन ॲटम इज रिप्लेस्ड बाय सोडियम. आणि इथला हायड्रोजन सोडियम न रिप्लेस होतो, अँड वी शुड बी गेट करस्पॉन्डिंग carboxylic acid salt, and thus there is a formation of HCOONH. म्हणजे डायरेक्टली formic acid instead of direct carboxylic acid, we get the sodium salt of that carboxylic acid, and thus in this case we get the formic acid, a sodium formate as a final product. And thus formaldehyde, when heated with dilute NaOH, undergoes self reduction and oxidation, and we get the mixture of two products. One is the methanol and second is the sodium formate, and this reaction is called Cannizzaro's reaction. Now let us see one more example. यामध्ये आणखीन एक एक्झाम्पल आपण बघूया. Okay, this is benzaldehyde. We know that benzaldehyde again do not having alpha hydrogen atom, and therefore when this benzaldehyde is heated with dilute NaOH, undergo Cannizzaro reaction, means two molecules of benzaldehyde participate in the reaction. Okay, here one molecule undergo reduction. एका moleculeचं reduction होतं, and its CHO group converts into CH2OH, and we get the primary alcohol. This is benzyl alcohol. Here that molecule undergo reduction and we get the primary alcohol, when second molecule of benzaldehyde undergo oxidation and that CHO group converts into COOH. या CHO चं conversion COOH मध्ये होतं, but reaction is carried out in presence of alkali, आणि म्हणून COOH मध्ये हायड्रोजन रिप्लेस होतो सोडियम, and we get the corresponding sodium salt of benzoic acid, and that sodium salt of benzoic acid is called sodium benzoate. तर sodium benzoate असे म्हणतात. And thus benzaldehyde, when heated with dilute NaOH, undergo Cannizzaro reaction, undergo self reduction and oxidation, and we get the mixture of benzyl alcohol and sodium benzoate. This is again example of Cannizzaro's reaction. Now let us see mechanism of this reaction. Mechanism means we are going to discuss how actually that reaction takes place, how actually that formaldehyde undergo self reduction and oxidation. हे थोडंसं डिटेल मध्ये आपण डिस्कस करणार आहोत, अंडरस्टँडिंग मेकॅनिझम. Now let us see फर्स्ट स्टेप. यामध्ये पहिली स्टेप कोणती आहे बघा. मी या ठिकाणी अल्डिहाइडचं एक्झाम्पल जे आहे, दिस इज C6H5CHO. C6H5 means there is a benzene ring. Okay, this is benzaldehyde, and again we know that this benzaldehyde do not having alpha hydrogen atom, therefore it undergo a Cannizzaro reaction. Now let us see the mechanism. We are using alkali. आपण अल्कली यूज करतो आहोत, मीन्स वी आर युजिंग KOH or NaOH. Now what happened in first step, OH minus ion, that is nucleophile, attack on the carbonyl carbon. It form a bond with that carbonyl carbon. There is a formation of new bond between this carbon and OH. मग आता इथे जर नवीन बॉन्ड तयार होत असेल, टू मेंटेन द व्हॅलन्सी ऑफ दिस कार्बोनिल कार्बन, वन ऑफ द pi bond undergo breaking and this electron pair goes towards oxygen acquires negative charge and we get the intermediate anion. Okay, this is the C6H5 as it is, then carbon, then O minus. Now there is O minus and this is the new bond between OH and carbon. हा नवीन बॉन्ड या ठिकाणी तयार होतोय. Okay, this is the first step. Okay, this is our anion first. It reacts with the second molecule of benzaldehyde. Okay, this is the second molecule of benzaldehyde. Here there is interesting reaction. यामध्ये काय होतं? Here in this process, here this oxygen having lone pair of electron. This electron pair form a pi bond between carbon and oxygen. इथं pi bond तयार करते. मग इथं pi bond होत असेल तर कार्बन आणि हायड्रोजनच्या मधला बॉन्ड ब्रेक होतो. This electron pair goes towards hydrogen. There is formation of H minus. Okay, now that H minus form a bond with that carbonyl carbon. तो इकडच्या दुसऱ्या मॉलिक्यूल मधल्या या कार्बन बरोबर बॉन्ड तयार करतो. मग इथं बॉन्ड तयार होत असेल तर इथला पाय बॉन्ड ब्रेक होतो and this electron pair goes towards oxygen and oxygen acquires negative charge. ओके, मग आपल्याला या ठिकाणी इंटरमिडिएट कसा मिळेल बघा. या ठिकाणी काय असेल, शिल्लक काय आहे, C6H5 C डबल बॉन्ड O OH. बरोबर, म्हणजे पहिल्यांदा या anion फर्स्ट काय तयार होतं, C6H5 C डबल बॉन्ड O OH and this is nothing but the benzoic acid. म्हणजे पहिल्यांदा तयार झालेला आहे बेन्झोइक ऍसिड. त्यानंतर या बाजूला काय तयार होईल बघा, या बाजूला असणार आहे जस्ट इथलं C6H5, जे C6H5, देन C इथं आहे O मायनस, then this hydrogen as it is and this is the new hydrogen. Okay, this is the new hydrogen and this hydrogen is transferred from anion first to the new molecule, another molecule of benzaldehyde. Okay, here this hydrogen is transferred from anion first to the another molecule of benzaldehyde. Okay, पण यामध्ये आता एक महत्वाची गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवा. Generally hydrogen is having positive charge. And it is commonly called as a proton. But in this case, hydrogen is transferred in the form of H minus. And H minus is called hydride ion. In this reaction, hydrogen is transferred in the form of hydride ion. Okay, this is the second step. ही यामधली आहे second step. Okay, now what is the next step? Okay, these are the two intermediates actually. इथं पुढची स्टेप काय होते, या बेन्झोइक ऍसिड आहे यामधला OH मधला बॉन्ड ब्रेक होतो, म्हणजे बेन्झोइक ऍसिड लुजेस H+ आयन, त्यामधून H+ आयन बाहेर पडतो आणि इथला जो H+ आयन आहे त्यात H+ आयन इज ऍब्स्ट्रॅक्टेड बाय दॅट ऑक्सिजन. हे ऑक्सिजन तो घेतो आणि त्यापासून तयार होईल OH. मग आता नीट बघा, इथं शिल्लक काय राहिलं बेन्झोइक ऍसिड मध्ये, C6H5 C डबल बॉन्ड O मायनस. बरोबर, C6H5 C डबल बॉन्ड O मायनस. आणि इथं काय तयार होतंय, C6H5, त्यानंतर हे आहे CH2 आणि इथं O मायनस जो आहे तो इथला एक हायड्रोजन, इथला जो हायड्रोजन आहे तो या ठिकाणी O मायनस कडे जातोय आणि त्यापासून तयार होईल C6H5 CH2OH, C6H5 CH2OH. And this is nothing but the benzyl alcohol and thus there is a formation of benzyl alcohol आणि हा आहे बेन्झोइक आयन. आता इथं एक तर प्रॉडक्ट तुम्हाला माहिती आहे बेन्झिल अल्कोहोल आहे, आफ्टर रिडक्शन आपल्याला बेन्झिल अल्कोहोल मिळतो. दुसरी गोष्ट आहे बेन्झोएट आयन, पण बेन्झोएट आयन जो आहे तो काय करतो, तो NaOH मधला Na+ घेतोय आणि त्यापासून तयार होतोय सोडियम बेन्झोएट. म्हणजे सोडियम बेन्झोएट and benzyl alcohol, these are the two products of Cannizzaro reaction. हे Cannizzaro reaction चे दोन products आहे. We have studied how actually we get the benzyl alcohol and sodium benzoate by using this reaction.